Hey guys, welcome to another ramble. Today, I don't know, there was a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. First and foremost, I guess this has to do with understanding yourself, understanding what you want to create, what you want to perceive, what you want to receive in the world. And it really starts with being decisive, you know? I've come across a lot of people who are really indecisive, and that really baffles me. Um, well, actually, no, if I think about it, I understand why people are indecisive. But yeah, I've always told people, if you don't make a decision, somebody else will make that decision for you. And you may not like that. You may not like what they choose for you. So that's why it's so important to be decisive, to know what you want and what you don't want. And I feel like when you are in that particular state of mind, you cannot be easily influenced, nor can you be easily manipulated. Those are facts. You cannot easily manipulate someone who knows who they are and knows what they want and knows what's best for them. You can't manipulate someone who knows that. So that's why, like, for me, it's been, well, the message is clear to give yourself time to be present in the moment, to practice more self awareness, to practice higher states of consciousness. And what is higher states of consciousness? I want to say it's a more wholesome perspective on what you're looking at in reality. Like being in a balanced place where you're not overly logical and you're not overly emotional. You just have like this very balanced reasoning about how you approach life, what direction you take, and knowing yourself enough to know what is best for you in the moment, you know? Um, Along those lines, I want to say that let's talk about manipulation. What is manipulation? Manipulation is when somebody is able to, I want to say, steer or narrate your perception of reality, you know? And that's why, like, I want to say a lot of manipulators normally are opportunists, they're thinking about themselves. I think we also have the ability to manipulate. The difference is, we choose to do it. Well, one, we either choose not to do it or we choose to do it because we know it's in the best interest of the person involved. It's not self serving, it's trying to kind of like steer somebody in a direction that will enhance them and possibly foster more self awareness and growth in that person. Or that's how I use it, you know? Like, I feel like a lot of times I'm pretty passive. I'm pretty passive. I'm going to be really honest. Although I do know what I want, what I don't want, what I will tolerate, what I won't tolerate, what is a good investment, what is not a good investment. And normally I will try to, I don't know, just let people be. Yeah. And if they are feeling stuck and they want to proactively be unstuck, then I can certainly manipulate or steer their perception in a way that will help them to see things on a more holistic level. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I feel like manipulation, like any tool, can be used for detrimental purposes or beneficial purposes. It just depends on the person and what end goal they are trying to achieve. Like for me, I just want people to be happy, guys. I want people to realize that the happiness and the peace that they are looking for, if they are looking for it, is inside, and it requires self inquiry. Normally, I notice before when I was younger and I was trying to save everyone. I think you can relate to that, like savior mentality, people pleasing, sacrificing your own well being for others. I used to tell people what I thought they should do, and now I just either react in silence and I give them that space to process their internal struggles, or I'll ask them questions so that they can find the answer within themselves. You know what I mean? Yeah, because the answer is within. I've noticed a lot of people, just by watching people, they definitely need validation for their decisions. And I think that's interesting. I'm sure I used to be like that. But yeah, I'm just like, why are you, like, for instance, if they're going to buy something, it's like they need to get their friend or their family members, like, I don't know, like acceptance or like permission to like get that thing. And for me, it's just like, well, do you like it? You know, it doesn't matter if your friend likes it or your family member likes it or your other half likes it. It's like, do you like it? You know, do you feel good in it? Does it make you feel like, like, does it feel like a good choice for you? And if you have any doubts, then that's probably not it, you know? So, like, yeah, I try to encourage people to use their own mind and to inquire within themselves, you know? Um, what else was I going to talk about? Yeah, guys, just be aware of manipulation. I mean, once you know yourself, you'll like be able to recognize it very clearly. And you'll also be able to be very decisive on whether you want that person to manipulate you or not. Because I've had friends, there's friends that I had, they're a lot of fun because I'm a pretty um well, I am pretty serious, but I am also pretty childlike. So I don't know how to like gauge that, but I do have some friends that are a lot of fun and pretty entertaining, and I will purposely let them manipulate my my decisions in order to, I don't know, one, I don't really care. Two, I know it's not hurting anyone. Three, um, I just want to experience what brings them joy, you know? And by just kind of like removing myself, like I allow myself to witness and experience another person and a choice that they would choose to make. Does that even make sense? There currently though, I definitely do not allow people to manipulate me, especially if it's causing harm or stress to myself or the other, whatever. I won't tolerate it. Um, and I don't know. I feel like you guys do operate in the same way, but I have always, I want to say, like, been one to leave things better than I found it. You know, and I've noticed not many people operate this way. You know, it's like when I enter a space, I try to leave it better than I found it. You know, so for instance, if I go into a place that's very, I don't know, in upheaval, I will go in there and I will configure things and leave it better than I found it. You know what I mean? Whether that be on a physical level, a mental, emotional, spiritual level, I literally, that is my, I want to say that's, is it a way of being? It certainly is like a pretty deeply ingrained, like, program. Like, one, take responsibility for the energy that I bring and also leave things better than I found it. You know? Um, yeah. I don't know. It's weird too. It's just like maybe because I do have the ability to manipulate, but I choose not to manipulate. It's really easy for me to see manipulators, and it's really easy for me to yeah, just kind of like point that out. A lot of times I will just observe it in a person because normally, like for me, I like to like observe things in their natural state. And I notice once you interfere or you say something that triggers them, they will like revert or change or like put on a mask, and then you can't really see them as they are. For me, I think that's why I take a passive stance, honestly. I think I made a video on this, maybe. Yeah, just be aware of manipulators, guys. And I want to say, like, spend more time with yourself so you know yourself. Man, everybody's throat chakra is clearing, I feel. But yeah, that way nobody can make decisions that are not in your best interest. And also, they can't manipulate you to believe and perceive a reality that isn't true. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there are a lot of half truths that happen in the world, but for me, I like to like see the two sides of the coin so that I can see the whole picture, because everybody has their side of the story. In order to know the full story, you need to know both sides. And that's why like I think a lot of people also were kind of like irritated with me when something arose and they wanted me to immediately take their side or their stance. And I'm just like, well, I'm not going to just take your side, because the other person also has their story, and I will consider that as well. And then I will make a reasonable assessment after, viewing both sides. And you may not like my assessment, but it's true and it's honest. You know what I mean? Anyways, I think at this point I'm 12 minutes. Darn, I've been talking for a long time. Only feels like 2 minutes, honestly. If you learned something from this video, cool. If you didn't, that's cool too. Blessings to one and all. Amen.